Hey friend, welcome back to another video. In this video we're doing something a little different because honestly, when are we not?
Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me
Without further ado, in this video, I'm going to be telling you the story of how my friend went to my roommate to no longer my friend anymore. And that's all because we decided to go to the same college and be roommates. Yeah. So I'm about to tell you how that turned out. But before I do that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's like the easiest thing you can do in the whole wide world. It's like 3 things. But if you want to see more videos like these, that's exactly what you got to do. So I'm going to stop yapping and we're going to go ahead and get into the story. But I did have to jot down everything that happened because it was so much that happened to the point my brain was like, okay, what order did that happen in? I don't know. So this might be a little out of order at some point, but this is the stuff that I remember happening, that I was there for. So I can't speak for nobody else. Okay? Thank ya. So let's get into it. First off, we're going to call this girl, we're going to call her Ivy. Okay? So Ivy was a girl that I guess you can say grew up with, okay? We went to the same church, you know, we didn't go to the same school because I lived here, she lived there. It just didn't happen that way. So fast forward, I was supposed to go to PV, okay? I was supposed to go to PV. I actually got accepted into PV. The problem is everybody and their damn mama wanted to go to goddamn PV, okay? So, and as a freshman, I guess you have to stay on campus. You can't just be a freshman and go to PV, I guess. I don't know. So I was like, cool, not going to PV. And I found out that she was going to TSU. So I'm like, cool, you going to TSU, I'm going to TSU. Why not be roommates? Like, girl, I've known you since I was a kid. Like, literally. The problem with that is, like I said, we didn't necessarily grow up together. I literally only seen this girl at church. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like, I've only seen her at church. We only conversated at church. I've never even seen her outside of church clothes, okay? So where this bright idea of, hey, let's be roommates for like 4 years came from, the world may never know. But we ended up doing it. So got the paperwork, and when it came down to requesting your roommate, it was like you could put their name in and then, you know, just basically request each other. The problem starts with the room. But the room is small. Let me kind of put a picture for you. When you walk in, it's a room. To your left, it's a bathroom. You got your little shower, you got your little sink, and you got your toilet. It's just a room. But it's 2 beds in this room. It's 2 beds and 2 dressers, 2 desks, and two chairs, okay? Enough for what you need in school, apparently, okay? There's no kitchen. There's no kitchen, babe. There's no kitchen. There's no, like, washer and dryer. I mean, there is, but that's around the corner. It's for everybody's use. Welcome to college. Anyways, I was a freshman and I didn't know what I was doing. This was my first time being on my own, making decisions on my own without somebody being like, hey, no, this is what you should do instead of this. It's Damani's world at this point. So I moved in first. But before I moved in, we had discussed who's doing what. I said, okay, you want me to buy the fridge? You want me to buy the microwave? Because mind y'all, there's no kitchen. How the hell we gonna eat? So we had to get a mini fridge and we had to get a microwave, you know, and everything else was just kind of like extra shit. But I had already had the stuff for my side of the room, and I was asking her like, okay, well, what do you want to like pitch in with? Like, I can pitch in with the mini fridge, I can pitch in with the microwave, you know, so you don't have to spend that much. She was like, nah, I got it. I was like, okay, you sure? You know, a mini fridge is a lot. You know, I could help. I didn't have a job at the time, but, you know, my people was willing to help. Like, you know, we going to be living in this room together. I can help. She was like, no, I got it. You can just get the cleaning supplies, and that's all really that I couldn't get for real. Cool. So you know what the hell I show up with? Cleaning supplies and my shit. Thank you. Okay? I show up with what the hell you told me to bring. So, that being said, she's the only person with a mini fridge. She's the only person with a microwave. But we had agreed to share. I've known you since I was a kid. We can share. It's not that hard. We can share. I moved in first. You know, I had the window spot. That was like a minor issue because supposedly she wanted the window spot. But sorry, baby, you didn't get here first. I did. Hate to tell you, but I'm taking this window. She came in, she got the decorating. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little jealous because Shorty had like a mirror. The mini fridge was big as fuck. She had a TV. Girl, I came in there like I was the 1970s of goddamn college. All I brought was a comforter set, some pillows, and my clothes. That was it. I wasn't like, I ain't know you needed all that shit. Damn, this is my first time. I ain't do no research for real. How the room was set up, and this is gonna play a part later. How we initially set the room up, okay? Her bed was like against the bathroom wall, and then my bed was against where the window was, because it's only one window in this fucking room. The room was set up to where we had space in the middle. Our dressers were pushed against the wall, so there was like a big space in the middle. Picture a studio apartment with no kitchen, just not even a closet, just a bathroom. Okay, your closet is your dresser. Got it? Cool. So we had a little open layout. It was working out. We was cool. Boom, out the bam. You know, we was chilling, kikiing. I was like, oh, this is so fun. I get to live with my childhood friend. Oh my God, yay! Psych, goddamn no. Because here I go with another goddamn bright idea, you know? Gots to have the bright idea. So I hear her on the phone. She's like chatting, talking to somebody, but like the way she talking sounds like she talking to a boy. You know, you don't be giggling. Oh my God. Stop. Like you don't do all that. Unless you know. But she wasn't giving that. She was on the phone and it sounded like a boy. So I'm being nosy. I'm like, who that? Who that you talking to? She's like, oh girl, this ain't nobody. Like, this just this boy that I know from school. Like, he liked me, but like, I never gave him a chance type deal. And I was like, okay, well, it sounds like, you know, you hitting it off. You should give him a chance. You know, why not go on a date? I fear this is where I fucked up. Because she took me seriously and she was like, yeah, I want to say probably like a week or so later. She was like, so I'm going on a date with whoop-de-whoop, but he's bringing his best friend. I don't want to go by myself. Do you want to go? I said, a double date? With a person I don't know? I guess I go. So I go. Turns out his best friend was actually kind of cute. Hey, I ain't mad. So the date went well. We on the date. I think we went to the movies or tried to go to the movies. And then we went to Walmart. I don't know, child. The date was fine to me. So now it's me, Ivy, the dude she's dating, and we're going to call him Liam. Okay, we're going to call him Liam. We got Ivy and Liam. Boom. So Liam was dating Ivy. Okay, Liam and Ivy been a thing, kind of, but she was not really giving him a chance until I said so. Boom. Now we're on this double date. The double date went good. Boom. Okay. So Liam's best friend, and we're going to call him Tyson. Okay. So Liam's best friend, Tyson, is the guy that I was dating. So I was dating Tyson at the time. So now we're a group. Me, Tyson, Liam, Ivy. So we're all in this room. The boys would come over. But this is the thing about boys coming over in college when you're a freshman and you're a girl. How Towers is set up, you got the boys' side and you got the girls' side. Regardless, there's a time you got to leave and there's a time that you can come in. You cannot spend the night. So the boys would come over, and when they came over, we had to like go downstairs to the lobby. We had to sign their name in with their little ID, and then when it was, time for them to leave, I believe what was the curfew? I think it was like 11. So like I said, it was the four of us. We was cool. At one point, Liam started doing some shit he ain't have no business doing. Okay? And Liam was seen with another girl. And I was like, I couldn't see who the other girl was. I just seen him walking. I didn't see him. Why whole time, y'all? It was my bestie, my best friend. She's my best friend now, which is crazy. But back then, she was an op. She was an op. Because what are you doing with my roommate's man? What are you doing? No. I had ended up following them. They going back to the dorms. I'm like, I know this nigga is not finna bring this girl, aka Bestie. Where he going? Bestie. We calling her Bestie because she's my best friend now, but at the time she was not my best friend. She was an op. I'm telling you. I had told Ivy, I was like, I just seen Liam with a girl, aka Bestie. My memory is jumbled at this point because I can't remember how we even started becoming best friends. I know it was off the simple fact of like Liam did some weird stuff, but fast forward, okay? So fast forward to me now being friends with Bestie, okay? At this point, it's me, Bestie, Tyson, okay? And then Tyson had two other friends that, we ended up clicking up with, and he also had his own friend, Blase. So now I'm in a whole nother group. I'm not even kicking it with Ivy no more, for real. And the main reason I stopped kicking it with Ivy was because she just didn't really want to do stuff. Like, she didn't want to go to like the stuff they were having on campus. And my best friend at the time, she was just more open to doing stuff like that. And she'll be like, hey, if you want to go, I'll go with you. And hey, that's just how we became best friends. Boom. But of course I ended up just spending more time with them because they were just, more fun. And I didn't want to sit in the room anymore. But turns out when I wasn't in the room, guess who was in the room? Liam. Yes, Liam was in the goddamn room. And I was just spending more time with Bestie and Tyson and all of his friends. So now it's like 6 against 2. By 6, I mean me, Bestie, Tyson, Tyson's 3 friends. Okay? And then it's Liam and Ivy. This is where things kind of get a little shaky. So now it was a problem of me not cleaning the room. So before we even like became like a 6 versus 2 or 4 or 2, whatever the hell, I had started cleaning the room on the weekends because she would go to work and she wasn't there on the weekends. So I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to clean up while you're gone. But like I said, I started hanging out with the 6 way more now. So I wasn't even there on the weekends. Girl, I was out with them on the weekends now. So I want to say 2 weeks went by and I just wasn't cleaning. But it was like, clean what? I'm hardly here. What the hell am I cleaning? I'm never here. So basically whatever I'm cleaning it up after you. Oh, okay. So I remember we went to the Galleria, right? And we came back. And when I came back to my room to get clothes, because that was literally the only time I would come back to my room. I would go kick it with them, and then I would either come back to my room to sleep or come back to my room to change my clothes. Literally. I was never in that room. So when I came back in the room, she was like laid up with Liam. And they were in the bed. And I was just coming in to grab my clothes. But when I walked past, she was like, oh, you not gonna do those dishes? You mean the dishes that I ain't even put in there in the span of 2 weeks? Oh no, you mean you want me to clean up after you and your man? Not doing it. Not doing it. So then she felt entitled because, say hey to Cookie, y'all. She felt entitled because it was like, well, I bought the dishes and I bought the appliances and I bought, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. And if you're going to use it, then you should clean it. But the problem was, babe, I didn't use none of the shit that you were asking me to clean. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And I ended up leaving. But before I left, I was like, why you don't ask your man who's here all the damn time to do it? Because out of two of y'all, somebody got to be doing that. And it ain't me. So I was like, yeah. And I left. After that, I was spending more time in my bestie's room than I was in my, like, at this point, I'm literally not even in my room unless it's like to take a shower or to like change my clothes. Like, literally not in my room. My room was like vacant. So at this point, she leaves again. I want to say this was either a week after or 2 weeks after we had that debacle, that issue with the dishes. So I took it upon myself when she left. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to rearrange the room. That way it's clean, it's even, and, everybody, it's clean. But I guess the way I rearranged the room, she didn't like it. And she was saying, like, oh, you must have touched my stuff. You had to touch my stuff to move it here, blase, blase. Mind y'all, I am not going through people's stuff. I don't even do that. Like, I was raised not to do that. I don't even like when people touch my shit. I'm not about to sit up here and touch your shit. You don't have nothing that I want from you, babe. Like, literally nothing. All I did, like I told y'all, it was 2 beds, 2 dressers, 2 desks, and 2 chairs in there, y'all. That was the furniture that I moved. I didn't take nothing out of the dresser. I didn't take nothing out of the desk. And the bed even had dressers in the bed. I didn't even touch that stuff. All I touched was the shoes that she had under her bed to line them up so I could move the bed. And that was it. Everything else was like furniture-wise. Nothing was like specifically like I went in her closet and I rearranged her clothes and like, no. I literally just moved the furniture. The furniture is what I moved. And I guess she didn't like it. I was like, cool. I was still at Besties. Came back. Why was the whole room rearranged? To the point that my stuff, my bed, my dresser, my desk, and my chair, and my shit is in a fucking corner. Y'all, if I had a picture, or even if I find it, I probably don't have a picture because I had a whole different phone at the time. But the way she had rearranged this shit, y'all would have thought like, how is she trying to move you out? Like, I had literally all my stuff was like in a corner. And then she had like this big ass like layout. And I was like, who does she think? Girl. See, and I wasn't even mad at the fact that you moved stuff, but you moved it to where you have more space than me. Just because I'm not in this motherfucker don't mean you get to have more space. No. Don't do that because this is still my shit. So that was one issue. After the whole dishes and then her moving my shit, I'm moving her shit and all that, we were just like, okay, fuck it. I'm not going to touch your shit. You don't touch my shit. Just don't touch nothing. Just don't touch nothing. So I ended up getting my own mini fridge, my own microwave, and my own TV. I wouldn't say in the same day or within the same month. Like, it took a little time to get all that stuff. And it wasn't the best either. I'm not going to sit here and say that my mini fridge was way better than hers and my microwave was way better than hers. But my TV, bitch, was definitely better than yours. The camera is dying. Don't we love that? But I think I'm going to cut it here and make y'all come back for a part 2. I never did that to y'all. Don't be mad. But it's literally only because the camera is dying and I need the camera to charge. Okay? And I'll be back. We'll finish the story. But without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And find out where she had to go, what she had to do to get up out this room. Because I wasn't playing. Yeah. I'm a fool. Okay. Seriously, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.